C7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
The Penobscot County Sheriff's Department is urging people to be careful while removing snow. People have died during recent storms. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. A Levant man will spend 33 months in prison for fraudulently accepting pandemic relief funds. And Belfast School Committee is considering whether to offer condoms to students through a special program. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories in just a moment. First, let's check in with meteorologist
happy Thursday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Lucci and Fredericks across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. So here we go. So more advisories actually getting issued now. We have the winter storm warning that's getting tripped back. That's getting dropped at around 10 a.m. 7 p.m. for those winter weather advisories off to the north and west. But we are seeing more alerts that are being issued now, and these are flood alerts that are also being issued. So I'm going to pull the map in a weird, awkward angle here so we can get these alerts to pop up. So we're currently seeing the last little bits of these aerial flood advisories that's being dropped this morning. Actually got dropped at around 11 a.m. So this is because of the heavy rainfall that we have noticed, and notice they're also along the coast with the high wind alerts that were also dropped, and of course the storm warnings and the gale warnings too also dropped at 10 a.m. So we had a lot of advisories that have since been dropped, and of course now the focus has been these aerial flood advisories that have since been dropped as well. So there's been a lot going on during the morning period in general. But otherwise, here's an overall look at things. So we had snow. We had the wintry mix, we switched over to rain, and now we're calming things down now with all this tracking off towards the east, and there's a little bit more action behind it, so still a few scattered rain and snow showers this afternoon, but the worst is just about done. So here's a general idea, maybe a few more rain and snow showers this afternoon, but really clearing out of here later on tonight with just a few passing clouds and a lot of sunshine on the way to start things off for your Friday. Hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, things start to calm down a bit as temperatures cool off into the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Department is urging people to be careful while removing snow. It has responded to 2 fatal incidents involving people who suffered a medical event while removing heavy snow. The incidents were unrelated, but both people involved who were using a snowblower. Removing snow is hard work even with a snowblower. People are reminded to take it slow and don't work to the point of exhaustion. Lift with your legs and not with your back, and pay attention to what your body is telling you. You should also call 911 immediately if you're experiencing any symptoms of a heart attack. They say it's also a good idea to check on people from time to time when they've gone outside to remove snow. With all of the storms, cleaning off your car may be at the top of your mind, but under Maine law, drivers are not required to do so completely. Al Meyer has more.
We've all seen it.
When we were driving yesterday, there was a car that had a big chunk of ice come off the top of it.
Or maybe we've done it. Driven around with snow on the car.
It's always a danger.
Maine drivers are required to keep the windshield, front drivers, and passenger windows clear.
It's a $150 fine. We do enforce that quite a bit.
But
as of right now, there's no law that prohibits the amount of snow on the top of your vehicle.
Representative Bruce White wants to change that.
There's little excuse to have snow built up on your vehicle 2 days after a snowstorm. So this is trying to get at some of those issues.
He plans to introduce a bill that would update a current law about having an unsecured load on your vehicle. It currently says certain things have to be reasonably prevented from falling off, like firewood, bolts, or other material.
So it's already there. What we want to do with this bill is clarify the gray area regarding the requirement to remove snow from vehicles.
A different bill introduced last year was met by concern from state police. The wording was seen as vague, which would make it challenging for officers.
I mean, if somebody gets hurt, maybe they should face a fine, but I don't think they should be required. I mean, they can certainly make it a law, but I don't see how it's going to be enforced.
Plus, the trucking industry was worried that it would be dangerous or impossible to clear snow and ice off the top of trailers.
My goal would be to address the concerns that we've heard in the past. It's a little more complicated than people realize.
A Lafayette man will spend 33 months in prison for fraudulently accepting more than $322,000 in pandemic relief funds. In August, 40-year-old Craig Frank pleaded guilty to wire fraud and money laundering for his fraudulent receipt of an economic injury disaster loan and Paycheck Protection Program funds. According to court records, Frank formerly owned CCF Acoustics and CCF Acoustical Systems. Neither company was in business, generated income, or actually had employees in 2020 or 2021. Frank received Maine unemployment insurance benefits over the same time frame. In July 2020, Frank was arrested on felony fraud charges in Florida. That same summer, Frank got more than $177,000 after submitting 2 fraudulent loan applications to the U.S. Small Business Administration. According to court documents, he made numerous false representations. He illegally used the funds to retain a criminal defense attorney and post bail in his Florida case. In March of 2021, he got more than $145,000 from another loan. Records show he illegally used the pandemic relief funds to buy vehicles and other personal items. A judge has sentenced a Hamden man to 7 years in prison for possessing child sexual abuse materials. 31-year-old Kevin McVicker pleaded guilty in August 2022. Court records show between about February 2015 and February 2021, McVicker possessed child pornography on his cell phone and electronic storage devices. He had obtained the images and videos online. Some of the images depicted children under 12. McVicker will serve 84 months behind bars, followed by 5 years of supervised release. He's also been ordered to pay $29,000 in restitution. An Ellsworth man and Pleasant Point woman were indicted by the Penobscot County Grand Jury in connection with an alleged assault and kidnapping. 28-year-old Kanaya Sakabason and 41-year-old David Bennett were indicted on multiple counts, including robbery and kidnapping charges, in connection to a November incident in Bangor. Police say officers were called to a residence on November 8th for a report of a male with numerous facial injuries holding a firearm. Officers say the male victim told them he had been at a residence on Court Street with his girlfriend when 2 individuals arrived, physically assaulted him, and cut him with an edged weapon. He said he and his girlfriend were then held at gunpoint and locked in a bathroom. Police say the male victim escaped the residence by jumping out of a window. Officers were later able to locate the female victim. Brewer's Police Department was put in the spotlight in a recent article from the Bangor Daily News. Deputy Police Chief Chris Martin, who was interviewed for the article, says the headline comes from a conversation that was taken out of context. Deputy Chief Martin tells us he's provided suggestions on how to address illegal gun possession in Maine, but he can't comment on any proposed legislation at this stage. Here's some of what he had to say.
We really didn't have any comment on the bill because it hasn't been issued out of the revisor's office yet, so we don't know what the bill says. We did make suggestions, legislative suggestions, to the people who represent our area, and one of those suggestions was enhancing the penalties of people who are prohibited persons for possession of firearms. That was a suggestion that we made. And we also made a suggestion to have a law in the books that essentially outlawed straw purchases. And what I mean by straw purchases is somebody obtaining a firearm on behalf of somebody else who can't legally possess it. So the article that came out in the newspaper, it kind of had a sensational headline. We don't have a comment on the actual legislation because it hasn't come out of the revisor's office. That was I clearly said that yesterday, but I also commented on the very things that I've discussed. Unfortunately, not all of that makes it to print, but hopefully people can understand and look beyond the headline. That's where we're coming from. We hope that the bill represents what we have in mind, and we'll see where it goes.
Belfast School Committee is considering whether to offer condoms to students through a program called Support for Sexually Active Students. The proposed program still requires some fine-tuning, but essentially it will allow students to seek out help from nurses or other administrators and guidance counselors if they have questions or a need for a confidential place to talk about sex. Part of this will include the availability of condoms if needed.
I think it's really important that we back the nurses on this. Regardless of how we feel personally, I think the reality is reality, and it's important that we do everything we can to help our students be put in a good position for now and in their future.
The idea has been sent to the policy committee for more work. The superintendent says that she expects this may come up in the next few school board meetings. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, a local town will be voting on a multi-million-dollar proposal to update part of its emergency services. We'll have the details when we return.
Refuse to compromise on style, quality, and price at the Winter Warehouse Sale at Label Shoppers. Prices are just $3, $4, $5 and up. That's designer brands you love at just $3.
Label Shopper, great clothes, great prices.
Max True Value Hardware in Unity is the best option year-round for all of your home improvement projects. Backed by one of the leading paint manufacturers in the United States, Max will color match or custom mix any color for you. We care about your pets too, carrying all of the essential pet products in our store. During those cold winters, we take the extra step to help with wood pellets ready to load on site. We also fill all size propane cylinders year-round. Max True Value Hardware. We take pride in serving our community. Let us know how we can help you today.
Welcome to the Yard Goods Center in Waterville, Maine. We're a local family business since 1949. We carry over 600 different types of hand knitting yarns from Maine and all over the world. And yes, we love Barocco. Beginner or a pro, you will find all the right tools and inspiration at the Yard Goods Center. We offer knitting classes Monday through Saturday. Come to the Yard Goods Center in Waterville, Maine and become part of our family and our happy place.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Boynton's Greenhouse, Brick House Kitchen, Chestnut Street Automotive LLC, Nicotal Stove Shop, Northwoods Real Estate, and Stearns Lumber Company.
Want luxury hair repair that doesn't cost $50? Pantene's Pro Vitamin Formula repairs hair, as well as the leading luxury bonding treatment for softness and resilience without the price tag. If you know it's Pantene.
For fast sore throat relief, try Vicks VapoCool Drops with 2 times more menthol per drop and the powerful rush of Vicks Vapors for fast-acting relief you can feel. Vicks VapoCool Drops. Fast relief you can feel.
A woman from Hamden has a special way of remembering those from our past.
Just because they are gone does not mean that we just write them off.
We'll have the story Monday on ABC 7 News at 6.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
A local town will soon be voting on a multi-million-dollar proposal to update part of its emergency services. Davin Dagnall met with Orland officials to learn more.
In a matter of days, the town of Orland will be voting on a $4 million proposal for a new fire station. According to Orland Fire Committee Chair John Barlow, the proposal has been brought forward because the department has outgrown the current station.
It's almost a 50-year-old metal building that they're in right now. And that building was really designed for about 30 years.
One of the firefighters at the Orland station, Richard Crampton, says that the station has a list of problems that goes on and on.
The overhead is too low for the new trucks.
The bays are small.
There's also an issue with flooding.
When we push water into the drains, eventually they fill up and start gurgling out other ones.
And on and on.
The present station is really quite drafty.
And that old insulation, I'm not even sure what it is. It's not asbestos, but it comes crumbling down all over us.
Here in the hose bed of engine 511, we can see one of the biggest problems with the current structure. The ceiling is only a few feet above my head, lessened by the fact that there's an I-beam right here. So when firefighters get back from a scene to repack the hose, it's far more difficult than it ever should be.
I think a lot of people are concerned for the price, and I don't blame them. That's a lot of money, but it won't go away.
According to Barlow, the proposed budget will be used to construct a completely new station on Gray Meadow Road with higher ceilings, more bays, dedicated stations for decontamination, and better ventilation and drainage.
This is not a Taj Mahal. It's a basic station. It's somewhat larger, but it should be much more energy efficient than the new station, than the old station.
The vote for the new station will be held in Orland on February 1st. In Orland, Devin Dagnall for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Bangor is on track to have the first 3D printed neighborhood in Maine. David Ledford has the story.
Panquis, a Maine nonprofit organization that works to eliminate poverty in the state, has received $3.3 million in government funding to address the lack of affordable housing for low-income Mainers. The money will be used to purchase 9 new 3D printed homes from the University of Maine's Advanced Structures and Composites Center. The university unveiled the homes last year with the help of Governor Janet Mills and Senator Susan Collins. According to Panquis President and CEO Kara Hay, the neighborhood is the first step in providing a cost-effective solution to a growing issue in the state.
We have a housing crisis. We simply don't have enough housing. Everybody has someone they know in their lives that can't afford where they're staying or they can't find a place. And so we need solutions. And right now, one of the biggest barriers is cost and the amount of time it takes to actually construct a home.
The homes are bio-based, made from a paste using wood flour, which university representatives say is completely recyclable. Habib Dogger, the executive director of the Advanced Structures and Composites Center at the university, says that they had always planned to use their technology to help the community.
We're delighted that we have an opportunity here to help the homeless in the area and the low-income homes as well. That was the plan from day one, is to have opportunities to build homes for those who can't afford them today or who can't have them at all.
The houses will be constructed over a period of 4 years to allow the builders time to perfect the design and make them reliable during Maine's winters, and get feedback from residents about their quality. Hay says that Panquis is currently searching for the best location for the new community, and will be looking for residents for the homes soon. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
We'll be right back.
Living in Maine means long, cold winters and hot, humid summers. Whatever the weather, Bangor Heat Pumps is your solution. Open 24/7, Bangor Heat Pumps takes care of you at home or at work. We operate statewide and service all brands and models. Understanding moving can be stressful. We will help move any units you may have. We offer a veterans discount in our home with a Capeless Hero discount. Visit us online at BangorHeatPumpsLLC.com or call or text us at 307-7746. Bangor Heat Pumps.
When Mainly Mercantile wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Mainly Mercantile is a venue of small businesses. We are a diverse group offering upcycled furniture and home decor, vintage items, jewelry, DIY creative products, made in Maine items, and souvenirs.
I tried everything to remove fabric odors, but my clothes still smelled. Until I finally found New Downy Rinse and Refresh.
Just add to your fabric softener tray. It doesn't just cover odors, it helps remove them up to 3 times better than detergent alone. Try New Downy Rinse and Refresh.
Mad Cat & Company in the North Brewer Shopping Plaza invites you to host your next event with us. We are much more than just a bar. Our event room is designed to host any type of event, formal or casual. Family gatherings, birthday parties, corporate parties, club meetings, fundraisers, or weddings and receptions. We've got you covered. Our open floor plan can adequately seat 100 or more people, and we can assist you with food, drinks, and entertainment as well. Call or visit our website today.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Bangor Tire Company, Black's Heat Pumps, First National Bank, Patriot Homes, Ray Plumbing and Heating, and Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales.
The Maine Department of Transportation has released its new 3-year work plan. It contains almost 2,600 individual work items with a total value of $3.94 billion. A statement from the department says it's one of the biggest challenges will be structural. Maine is a mostly rural state with challenging geology and weather, as well as a small, spread-out aging population. To meet those needs, Maine has a vast multimodal transportation system. The statement says another challenge shared by others across the country is the cost of doing business. Since 2018, Maine DOT has experienced construction cost increases averaging between 40 to 50%. Some of the work highlighted in the plan include 302 bridge projects, paving projects, and highway and safety projects. It also includes a new hybrid electric vessel for the Maine State Ferry Service that will go between Lincolnville and Islesboro, as well as replacing 75 miles of rail on CSX's Waterville-Mattawamkeag line to allow heavier freight cars and increased speeds. Since 1985, there have been increased efforts to encourage mammography for early breast cancer detection. With more, here's ABC's Justin Finch.
New research by the American Cancer Society shows that over the last 30 years, breast cancer death rates have dropped by 43%. That means the lives of an estimated 460,000 women were saved. Breast cancer is the second leading cause of death in women, but with continued advances in treatment and early detection through screening, death rates have steadily decreased. Unfortunately, in some groups of women, breast cancer death rates are still significantly higher overall. Black women have an overall 40% higher risk of dying from breast cancer than white women, despite decreased occurrence rates. Researchers say differences in death rates could be related to lesser funded screening facilities, insurance access, and higher likelihood of having triple-negative breast cancer, which is tied to poorer outcomes. This means there is still equitable work to be done to eliminate disparities and improve outcomes for all racial groups. Remember to check with your healthcare provider about timing and scheduling your mammogram. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Engstrom's Auto Service, Howard Insurance, Johnson Foundations, Mallet Real Estate, McCusick Petroleum Company, and Prouty Auto Body.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order statewide. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
Have you noticed our bills keep going up?
Yeah, and now electricity prices are going up because natural gas prices are up. We need to find ways to make cuts.
John told me the PUC website offers information about financial assistance, conservation programs. We should check on Betty. She lives on a fixed income. She keeps her heat way down. When prices go up again, she may really need help.
I heard you can get help with your utility bills. You should let her know.
Okay.
Find meaningful work in direct care, like Carmen, who works in a residential care facility with adults with disabilities.
I can't imagine why people are not just jumping like fish in a pond, because you make such a difference. It's so humbling. Anyone who wants to make a difference, this is the place to go.
Visit caringforme.org to learn more and make an impact through a compassionate career.
A Waldo County community is helping a Maine musician get back on his feet. On December 20th of last year, Bruce Sinclair and his wife Marilyn Wood Sinclair lost their home in a house fire. The blaze destroyed $300,000 worth of pianos, music equipment, and vinyl records. Now community members and friends are organizing a benefit concert at the American Legion in Belfast. Friends of Sinclair spoke about what it means to support the local musician.
I think it's going to be uplifting, and it's going to be a positive experience. I think it'll help lift them up. And it'll be great to help Bryce out and Marilyn and help them get back on their feet.
The concert is scheduled to take place this Sunday, January 29th at 2 p.m. Proceeds from the day will support the Sinclair family. Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, here we go. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Lots of advisories expired this morning. These winter storm warnings have since been dropped as of 10 a.m. this morning. Maybe a few winter weather advisories off toward the west yet. And of course, we've had some wind alerts as well. These high wind warnings were dropped and wind advisories dropped at 10 a.m. as well as the storm warnings and the gale warnings as well. And I know some of you are probably asking, what are these green boxes right here? Let's drag the map around and let's have a look here. So these are definitely the aerial flood advisories that are in effect. I got to put this at an awkward angle because sometimes I won't show the right advisory if I don't do it. But you can see these green boxes here. That was also dropped at 11 a.m. So things are calming down now after we had some active weather this morning. But the last little bit's moving out of here. And of course, the push of warmer air has allowed this to switch over to all rain. So we had snow to the north, a little bit of an icy mess further down to the south from that. And now basically rain. And now all that's starting to track from the west going toward the east. So the rest of the day will start to improve with a mixture of some clouds, maybe some sunshine if you're lucky. But the general idea will be the clouds and things starting to calm down, as we'll be watching for a little bit more action out toward the west with maybe a few more rain and snow showers this afternoon. But the worst of it is this stuff that's moved through this morning, and now things have since started to calm down with it tracking off towards the east. So here's the system right here. It's a rather sizable system that's tracking from the west going toward the east. But we'll clear out pretty quickly, and that starts actually as early as tonight. So the last little bit of the system is moving out of here, and now we just have the clouds and maybe a few more rain and snow showers by this evening, especially after midnight. The clouds start to break up, so a lot of sunshine in store to start things off here Friday. A lot calmer day will be on the way, and maybe a few more passing clouds trying to sneak in here Friday night as another wave of energy will try to sneak in here with maybe a few snow showers as we head towards early Saturday morning. Maybe a little bit more ice off toward the north, but a lot of it's starting to back off now, so any ice concerns have since started to back off in general. And the snow accumulations backing off as well. We're done with all of that. That's mainly across the northern parts of the state at this point. And any rainfall additions at this point as well, not looking too bad, hardly anything. So things have since started to calm down here across the area. So our snow depth, we have 16 inches of snow on the ground at this point, maybe a little bit less in some spots. But the general idea with this precipitation and even some rainfall, there's been some concerns with some flooding. So we got to be careful with that moving forward. The forecast for today, 43 degrees. That wintry mix will be switching over to all rain and backing off as well, with that southeast wind getting up to around 30 miles per hour. By tonight, decreasing clouds, lows in the mid-teens, and that west wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mid-20s, mostly sunny skies. This will be pretty nice. West wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast. Slight chance for some snow showers on Saturday, highs in the upper 30s. Better chances for rain and snow showers Sunday, highs in the mid-30s, and mid-20s Monday with a mostly cloudy sky.
Thank you, Devin. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gas Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our third generation family owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western